I am sitting in beautiful sunny Wyoming, and this week Rihanna and I spent some time at Casper Humane Society. And it is a privately funded shelter that gets pretty much no government support. They are all donations and volunteers. And honestly, there really isn't much of a story to tell besides the fact that they are incredibly well managed, at least it seems like it. They are super clean. The dogs have so much space. Everybody has an indoor and outdoor area. They are a true no-kill shelter. They have a few dogs that have been there from anywhere from 3 to 6 years. They are constantly pulling dogs from Metro, which is the local government-run shelter. It is no secret that COVID did wonders for the rescue world. Dogs and cats got adopted by the masses, but now that life has gone back to normal, they are all being abandoned and surrendered, making life for the shelter staff a living nightmare. A lot of people are not able to find housing that will take their pets. That's a huge problem considering the monumental housing issue that is going on in the whole country. I've been following different rescues pretty vividly for the last 6 years or so. And don't get me wrong, this is the most donations, the most publicity, the most social media presence most of them have ever had. At the same time, this is the most unwanted pets they also have ever had. A few that I follow, like Stray Rescue in St. Louis, they're amazing. They started about 8 years ago, and they are literally doubling in size, and they are still constantly low on space, asking for fosters and asking for people to just come adopt. Another one, Lee Asher of the Asher House, he started about 5 years ago in a dinky RV, but he traveled the country hosting adoption events, which led him to social media craze, as you know. And now he was able to purchase a gorgeous piece of land in Oregon, and he is starting his dream sanctuary. And in the last year, he's already amounted 80 plus animals. A sweet lady in Minnesota somewhere runs a foster base rescue. And she posts all the time how hard everything is, but one thing she never ever has to worry about is the finances. And sure enough, anytime that she has a special case she takes on, because she mainly does just medical cases, she'll put a plea out on Facebook and create a fundraiser, and within hours she has what she asked for, if not twice that amount. Another rescue out of Tennessee called Rocking Our Ranch Rescue, they rescue horses and donkeys from kill pens. And the other day they went to an auction and they needed just $800 to get a mare, her foal, and transport secured, and put a plea on social media. Within 2 hours, I joke you not, they had $2,000. When I look at this kind of support, two things comes to mind. First, considering the whole world right now is at each other's throats about everything, but when it comes to an animal in need, it is incredible how everybody is just going to rally to help. This makes me think there is hope. The rescue world is definitely at its peak. And yet it leads me to the second thing that I can think of, which is, well, why the hell does anyone involved in rescue feels like we are not moving an inch forward? That with all the positive changes and all the support, why is everyone still drowning? And it brings me back to probably my most passionate topic to discuss, spay and neuter. Those who know me know I'm a broken record when it comes to this. To me, there is no reason, there is no excuses. Spay and neuter your damn dog. Why is it important to spay and neuter your dogs? There are many reasons for this. Obviously, we need to seriously get the overpopulation issue under control, but there's also incredible health benefits. On the HSUS website, I read fixed cats tend to live anywhere from 25 to 35% longer, whereas fixed dogs are 22 to 30% longer. Unaltered male dogs are at higher risk for prostate cancer and testicular cancer. And female dogs will get mammary tumors, which are tiny, but they spread like wildfire. It is incredible. A fixed male cat will not spray your house, which absolutely stinks, or wander the neighborhood impregnating a female and generally being an aggressive tomcat. A female cat gets, well, catty. There's a reason we have that expression. They get irritable and annoying and meow all day for up to 15 days while they are in heat. At my shelter back home, we have a jar of pinto beans that shows how many cats can come from just 2 cats. And in a 7-year period, this number, I have done some research, and has been anywhere from 75,000 to in 8 years over 1 million. And I'll put some graphs, obviously. But when my shelter is absolutely full of cats, they have over 100 cats. And to think that two cats can produce 75,000 cats in 7 years just is dramatic. You do the math on how quickly we can fix this. People will say that it's expensive surgery, and yes, I agree. I could do a whole other 18-hour video about how vet care is expensive and how unfair it is. But most shelters and rescues have a spay and neuter program, which provides spay and neuter for a very low cost. At my shelter, I think it's $60. And yeah, it is not like taking them to your vet and having, picture updates. It is just one day in their lives that they are most likely going to forget. So just get it done, please. Just to showcase what wonders spay and neuter has done for the world, in Oregon, basically in a lot of the northern states, they have had a program in place for 20 plus years, and their shelters are literally empty. And that's like created this whole other branch of rescue transport, where from planes to cars, people will rally and literally transport dogs from, say, North Carolina, pick up 14 dogs, fly them up to New Jersey. So why is it important to adopt instead of purchasing a dog? I will try not to sound too judgmental with this one, but it's something that I'm probably even more passionate about than getting your dog neutered. Don't get me wrong, I'm okay with responsible breeding. There are certain breeds that are needed for certain jobs, and there is no way around it. A livestock guardian dog, for example, is not something a mixed breed could do. Of course, there is exception to every rule, but a poodle would not do good protecting a herd of sheep. I follow this dog on Instagram called Lily, and she is amazing, but 2/3 of what she does because it is instinct. It is bred into her. It's not something she was trained to do. We also have a huge need for, say, hypoallergenic dogs, but this doodle craze is just ridiculous at this point. What irks me is the person that will spend $1,500 on an adorable looking Frenchie who's going to spend his entire life struggling to do the most basic thing, which is breathing. Supply comes from demand. There's no way around it. If people stop purchasing dogs, then those people will stop breeding dogs. Puppy mills are real, and they are everywhere, and they are miserable. And I could give you example after example of things that happen in puppy mills, but we're not going to go there because you might freak out. But to the person that says, well, I'm rescuing this puppy from the puppy mill, I'm really sorry to burst your bubble, but you aren't. You are basically guaranteeing that that mother will get bred one more time. Every year in America, over 4 million dogs enter the shelter and rescues, but only 1 million get adopted. Lots of people want to help, but don't have the financial means to do so. And honestly, I feel like a lot of shelters and rescues have the financial means that they need in order to survive. One thing they do lag in is staff and infrastructure. So one thing you can do to help your shelter, honestly, pick one day a week, the same day every week, and go walk 3 dogs. It will take you less than 2 hours, and you will do more good for that shelter and that dog with that kind of consistency than donating $5 a month every month for the rest of your life. You will change the lives of every dog you walk. You will increase their adoptability by tenfold. The other thing that is the best way to help is honestly to foster. And yes, fostering can be hard. You get attached. Sometimes you get medical cases. Sometimes you get puppies, and puppies are cute, but then they're crazy. They're puppies. But fostering saves lives, and you pull a dog from the shelter and you foster him, you are, first of all, allowing the shelter to pick up another dog, which is definitely going to come, but you're also giving that dog a chance to get acclimated to a real home, increasing their adoptability again by tenfold. Some dogs have never been in a home environment or have no idea how to behave, and if you have another dog that can help teach him, you are just speeding up the process like you wouldn't believe. People ask me all the time how I was able to foster so many dogs, and honestly, I did it for selfish reasons. The way I felt from watching a dog go from unable to touch her to she's adopted now for over a year, that kind of reward, you just you don't get it from anything else. You really don't. When you foster, it is absolutely 100% free. The shelter will provide you with the food, with any medicine, with dog bed, with toys, with towels, with blankets, with crates. And honestly, some shelters have actually offered specialized training sessions for harder cases. So it is hard sometimes fostering, but it really does save a life, and it really costs you nothing but love and patience. So, in conclusion, is this all a lost cause? Well, I like to think it's not. And can we make a difference with so many animals around the world being mistreated? Yeah, we can. One phrase comes to mind, and a corny one that has been used way too much, but you aren't going to change the world, but you are going to change the world of that one dog that you are adopting or fostering. And we aren't going to rescue our way out of this problem, someone once told me. We need to take decisive and immediate action with the USDA and the American Kennel Club and start really regulating puppy mills and breeders and making sure that they're held accountable for everything that they do and that they have to provide a good living environment for these animals. If you've watched this till the end, thank you for listening to me rant. I hope you learned something that you didn't know, and I really truly hope that this Sunday you go to your local shelter and you pick 3 dogs and you walk them. And I hope that you have the incredible feeling that I know that you will get, and the love that you will feel at the other end of that leash. And I hope it will be as addicting to you as it was to me, and that it's going to push you to maybe every week, every other week, to go to your local shelter and just walk some dogs. You will change a life, and that life might be yours. It changed my life.